Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 4 of Matt's Glory, where we keep it real biblical. And today we are doing a somewhat of a continuation of last episode. So we're going to be discussing love versus lust. So, since Mother Dearest loves to point out that she's married, we're going to let her take over this episode.
How y'all doing today? First of all, since I'm married, I don't lust. Anyway.
That is not what that means.
Okay. Love versus lust. How do you know if it's love or lust?
Who you ask?
Ain't nobody sitting here but you and I.
What is love? What is lust?
Okay.
Because I'm single as a Pringle.
All right. Let's start with lust. Lust is if you see a person and you just got to have them, you want them. Not, hey, I want to get to know them. And the part that you just want their body. That's what lust is. Lusting after their body to do some things that you want to do that's inappropriate for people who are not married. Let's do it like that. That way we'll be keeping it real biblical. Got it? Love is okay. When you love someone, you think about them all the time. You want to be with them. You want what's best for them. And it does not have to be sexual. Lusting is sexual. You know, you just gotta have that. But when you love a person, you're thoughtful of them. You're always thinking about their best interests. You know, when you wake up, or as my husband say, fix them some breakfast. Well, you can't fix what you don't have in the kitchen.
So then, have you ever lusted after somebody?
I'm sure I have, girl. Yes, I am 54 years old.
I've never lusted after anybody.
Really?
What you mean you 54? What you mean you 54? What did I do with it?
It's an age. Well, like I say, I'm sure I have. But I've never, let's go here. So maybe I haven't. My coworker and I used to talk all the time, and the difference between a man and a woman. And of course, these are women's point of views. And she would say, well, a woman can talk to a man on the phone and not want him in that way. Or spend time with him and not want him. But that man, you know, he wants that woman to do whatever. And so that's why I take that back. Because I've never looked at a man. Huh? Well, that's her opinion. I've never looked at a man and said, oh, I got to have him. Sexual. But I remember as a young person seeing a man and say, I want him. Not sexual, and he became mine, but it wasn't sex though. So, go ahead.
So many questions. So many questions. Okay, first of all, I don't agree with the whole. Excuse me. That you somehow a woman can talk to a man out there and not want him, or she said that.
That was her.
And a man won't. No, because women lust after men just like men lust after women. It's not a sex. Pertain situation.
It wasn't lusted about being friends.
Huh?
In other words, if the woman say to a man, and everybody's different, let's keep that. You know, okay, we're going to be friends. And she was saying the woman could be friends and think nothing, but that man, he's not going to deal with it too long.
I got friends, guy friends, who
Do you want them?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Who, to my knowledge, have never been interested in me sexually.
That's it, to your knowledge. Do you think they will honestly say it to you now if you ask them?
Yeah, why wouldn't you tell me?
Because I had some friends that I thought were my friends only. Years later, I found out they wanted me. I guess it's their girlfriend, you know. I ain't gonna say for the other thing because I can't say that. So I'm just saying.
Okay. Well, I think there's two guys that I know right now who are not interested in me sexually. that I consider an acquaintance or a friend or whatever.
Right.
So I'm not gonna say that. That's not a sex based thing. That's a person based thing.
Okay.
And to that extent, the guy he was telling me the girl trapped him or whatever, because she was saying he told her from the jump he didn't want a relationship, and she was like she was in love with him, she wanted to be with him. He was like, I don't want a relationship. I always said third. If she told you what she wanted, and you told her what you wanted, then you should have cut all ties then. He did not. He continued to have sex with that girl and get her pregnant. Then you got mad. But you told her you ain't want her. What you thought she was going to do? You can't be telling man she crazy. Okay, well you knew then. If you told her, if she told her she want to be with you and you told her I want to be with you, and she still let you smash, you should have knew then that was a setup.
Let's take it a step back. How dare you tell a person you don't want that, but then you sleeping with them?
He said he didn't want a relationship. He didn't say he didn't want the drama.
Oh no. That's what's wrong now. Because you cannot control a person's feelings, and you say, okay, well we just gonna sleep together, no strings attached. Don't do it. Don't try it, because it's not gonna work.
I don't know. Every person is different.
Okay.
What I do feel, I'm not gonna say I know it to be true. What I do feel is that you should be, or no, this is something I do stand 10 toes down on. It is your job to be completely open and honest with whomever you call. If you're interested in that person, you need to let them know from the jump, true, I'm interested in you. Because if that person says, okay, well, I'm interested in you as a friend and nothing more, you right then and there, you know you need to stop, reassess, and take it back. Because I'm not going to tell somebody that I'm interested in them, and they tell me, well, I'm not interested in you. And then I continue to move as though I'm trying to, because you purposely set yourself up to get your feelings hurt, to catch feelings, and all of the things. Now, I can say that you can spend so much time with a person that you begin to catch feelings, because that has happened before. Because I'm quick to tell you, I ain't going to catch feelings with nobody. And have not. And then I found myself spending so much time with a person I was not interested in him whatsoever.
But
found myself spending so much time with him that eventually I did become interested in him. And he was like, well, I got what I want. I played, not in a bad way. He was like, he played the long game, because he's let me know from the jump he was interested in me. And I'm just like, you're not my type. And eventually I started developing feelings. And so I did tell him. He was just like, so we finna, I'm like, nope, we ain't finna do that either. Because I still didn't want him. I caught feelings for him. But it's because you spent so much time with a person.
Exactly.
But, and I'm not going to say that he was lusting after me. We both made clear what it was from the jump. And he said, well, you are what I want. And I was like, oh, you're not what I want. I ain't say it like that, though. But for me, lust, of course, everybody knows lusting is, wanting somebody sexually, whatever the case is. It's a desire for that person physically. I have never lusted behind. She trying to run through her history. I can tell you right now, straight face. Mine ain't that long. I'm only 30. I can tell you right now, straight faced it. I've never lusted behind anyone. And that's because I'm very direct. Well, because I'm just not finna tell you I want nobody sexually.
Yeah.
But I've never lusted behind anybody. Now, I tell you all day, Michael B. Jordan, Morris Chestnut, Jack Human, Hemsworth, they can get it. They really can't. But they can get it. Like, them some fine men. But I've never lusted after them.
No.
Now, there was this one guy. Be careful in what I say, because I don't know who watches this or listens to this. But he made a statement to me the first time he saw me. He was on duty, and the statement he made to me, I don't know if I ever told you, so I'm sure not finna say it now. And I was like, sir, but the more I talked to him, I wanted that man, because that man was fine. Like, I wanted him like I would date him type. He was fine. I'm talking about, he was dark skinned. He was like 3. He was probably like a shade or 2 darker than my mama. He had very good hair, beautiful teeth. nice body build. I'm talking about, like, when I say what I desire, like what I want physically for a man, for a body build, that was him. Played football, all that. Very attractive, smelled good, nice build and all that, but he was short. He was 5'8". And he looked taller than that when he had his work boots on. That was the setup. So I was just like, And he had kids.
Okay.
A whole lot of kids. So I was like, So I did, like, him. When I told Mom, I said, because she was just like, what do you even want with him? He got kids, all this and that. I was just like, I don't want him, but I wanted him. Yeah.
But that's correct. The only reason why I say because he got kids, because she says she don't want a man with kids. I don't want nobody to think that, hey, I'm bashing men with kids.
Like, he was
because I married one that had kids.
Yes, she did.
Mm-hmm.
He was checking off all of the physical boxes for me, except for that being short thing. I was not with it. But all the rest of it, I'm talking about checking off perfectly. And then everything else was not lined up. So that might have been the closest thing I came to lusting. But as far as the whole loving thing, I've been single for a long time. I can tell you last time I told a dude I loved him, and that's what I was gonna bring up too. That's why I'm happy we on this episode, because I realized, and I don't think I said that to you. I told my mama that I think I love him. I did not, and I know if you're looking at it probably on this side, look real. It come off as real cold, but I did not love him. I didn't. It has been in my life. Every guy has told me that they loved me before. They were always the first one to say it. And I either didn't say it back, or I said it back because I felt pressure to say it back. And I've only done it one time, and that was in junior high. What you shaking your head for?
Nothing. Go ahead, keep going.
The only time I said I love you back when I felt pressure was when I was in junior high. So I'm like, okay, cool. Every other guy has always said I love you first. And I was just like, oh, okay. Appreciate that. Because I'm not going to say it if I didn't really mean it or feel it or whatever. And then, too, I can say I love you and not be in love with you. Them two different things.
It is.
So, and that's a lot of things, a lot of stuff people don't know. And I say that I've only been in love once in my life. And that's with
That's true.
TM. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't, and I don't want to know. I'm here. I'm just.
Yes, you do, because I want you, because it's going up with a question.
Oh, yes.
Okay, cool. I say I've only been in love one time in my life, but the more I think about it, I'm really trying to see if that was really me being in love.
Okay, so let's go back. You asked me have I ever lusted. So I can't remember, so I probably did. But this,
that don't mean that.
Well, because you remember things. I've never, in my mind, that I can remember, lusted out of another male's counterparts. So that's what lust is to me. And for us, your conversation about person being with a person and not wanting them, I had told a male, he was older than I, and I assumed he was sleeping with a woman. And I said to him, he like, you know how they be like, nah, ain't no happening. So my statement was to him, if you are sleeping with that female,
You told me so.
more than once a week, but I'm not calling his name on the thing, you know, she's going to think something going on. No, it ain't. Yes, it is. Because if you're not interested in that person like that, why you study going back and banging that? Leave it alone, you know. And maybe months passed by, and he saw me one day and flagged me down. You were right. I'm like, about what? Because the woman told him that he and her was in a relationship. Well, why not? You laying up with this woman more than twice. Might have been 3 times. So, okay, so to her, baby, we got something going on here. You know, so we as a people, man or female, because we can't say just men like that. You got women like that. You know, I assume, because I wasn't like that. You know, just figure, okay, well, this might cool me down or whatever. Might hit it and quit it. So stop using people like that. I got my own words. You know, I make my words up as I go. So stop using people, you know, like that. You know, that's that. And for love, so being in love, you say you never been in love but once. Okay?
I said I assume.
You assume. Okay.
You know better than I do.
How would I know you was in a relationship with the person I met?
Yeah, I don't. But you remember I had to ask you a couple times, how you know if you in love with somebody? That right there probably should let you know that it ain't love. You gotta ask. No, I'm just playing. I don't know. How you know if you in love with somebody?
Well,
You remember my first time I had a crush, I didn't even know I was crushing. Somebody had said me I was crushing on somebody.
But okay,
and I was 26 years old.
Once you fall in love, do you ever fall out?
Oh, did I want in love? Okay, I went in love.
You were, I say, your relationship you was in, your adult relationship, so called. And when a person, sometimes people, in my opinion again, I don't want nobody upset. People kind of gravitate to someone that they think can help them or take care of them. And it ain't got to be physical. It can be food or whatever. And people pity people. You know, I told my son, if you don't want the female, leave alone. Don't let nobody pity party you into staying with them, telling you their sob story. And we it's just hard. Sometimes people do that. You know, you don't want to see them hurt, but you still hurting them. Because if you're hard not in it or you don't want that, let that alone. Let it go. You know, you keeping somebody from their person and vice versa. We got to learn. First of all, we got to learn to love ourselves before we can love somebody else. And this thing about this same man who I told about this banging this lady more than one time a week, he told me his opinion that men have to accept who want them. And I'm like, not so. You know, because the man's supposed to choose the woman. But he was like, but a woman can reject the man. Okay, but men reject women. You know, so it ain't about, you know, I guess choosing whoever gets you or whatever. And I'm like, we had some weird conversations, but.
Well, now they say like who like you. And I don't agree with what you mean.
And I heard that this morning too. No.
Like who like you.
Because if you don't want to be with that person, it's not going to be totally happiness, you know. Now, if I've heard in the past from the era I came up from, like, well, I had a friend, and she did not like the man, and everybody was telling her to marry him. He asked her to marry him. Well, she liked him, but she was not in love with him. And she called me, and I was freshly married. I'm like, well, I wouldn't marry him if I'm not in love with him. And she like, but they was telling her she could grow to love.
That sounded like an arranged marriage to me.
Well, but she did marry, and they still together. But I'm like, my advice was, I can't do it. Because if I don't love you, I'm not marrying you. Now, but I did tell her, well, date a while. You know, that's how, but you don't marry somebody hoping to fall in love with them, because what if you never to fall in love with? You know, then you end up resenting it person you married to. And I know people marry for all the wrong reasons, for money, for fame, you know. Just marry for love and make it right. I just got a little irritated now, but go ahead. Would you marry somebody for love? Because you are sexually attracted to him?
No, because that ain't gonna work out, because eventually stuff gonna get wrinkled and loose and limp and shriveled and everything else. And I'm gonna speak for me.
Okay. That's what I asked the question. Statement. It's for you and everybody.
I was gonna make a generalized statement.
Go ahead.
I will not marry for lust. One, I don't lust behind anybody.
Okay.
Number two, why would I marry you because of how you look physically if my first qualification is spiritually? If we don't line up spiritually, I don't want you. It's just so funny. I was just at my conference, and this is what I was telling. I called her Mama Lo. I said, I'm just, for me, of course, I want you to be attractive to me. But and also, because she was just like, how do you know? She said, if you keep turning guys away, then how you know you're not turning away the one for you? One, if it's for me, I can't miss it. Two, I know within the first couple of conversations, if we're talking, especially if we're talking about business or education, whatever the case is, and every other coming out your mouth is something sexual, it's a wrap for me. I'm good. if you come into the conversation with a sexual comment, okay, I'm good. You want to compliment me, cool, compliment me. But if every other thing you said to me is something sexual,
That's
baby, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Because eventually you're going to keep making that statement. I'm going to shut it down. The first time I might let you slide. That second time you might get a little, all right, fall back. I'm going to shut it down. So if you continue to bring it up, because they asked the question too, like, when do you say, and there was a conversation I saw, people were talking like, when do you tell somebody that you're abstaining, you don't want to have sex till you get married on the 10th? I said, whatever you get ready. Don't get into no fully committed relationship with somebody, and y'all in a relationship 2 or 3 months, and they still make plans with you, but you just I'm not until you set a reason not to do it, and then now this person tell you that they want something, you say, well, I don't want to be here, I don't want to do this till I get married. Now somebody that committed to you and they what they want to do. See, because you just set yourself up. Be honest from the jump. Now I can't tell you exactly what. I'm just direct.
Well, first of all, if you're talking and y'all talking about, to me that should be one of the first things that come up, because hey, you having this conversation. I want to date you. You can date me, but you're getting none of the goodies, because I'm not doing it till I'm married. Point blank, get it over with. Why wait if you know you're interested? Don't try to string a person on, male or female. Just like, well, I'm waiting.
Don't use it as a weapon either. Like trying to ward somebody off, because somebody may not be interested in waiting until they're married until they meet you.
True. Because
you can't use it like, oh, I know he ain't no good because I said I want to wait and he trying to push me into it. That's not necessarily the case. That's not for everybody. Everybody does not know different. And that's the thing too. That says a lot about you and your walk with Christ. If you are so strong and solidified in the promise that you made to God and what you say you want to do, that you bring somebody else in. Because as becoming saints, it is our job to draw people in. And that's just how I see that. As far as the love thing, though, I don't think I haven't been in love. I've loved, but I've never been in love. I've never said I love you first. I don't think that. Yeah, no. I've never been in love, but I've loved. I loved the guy that I thought I was in love with. Come to find out I wasn't. It was more of a platonic love. It was like, no, because like I remember, I said I went from being his girlfriend to his mama. That's what that was.
Well, that was your fault.
I didn't say it wasn't my fault.
Okay.
I'm talking about the love thing. It's just no.
So you think he loved you because you went from being his girlfriend to his mama?
No. He loved me before we got to this step. After that, it was more so about I can't survive without you type thing. Because his literal statement to me was, well, because by this time we had been broken up for so long, but it was Jay is this, Jay was always doing for him. But he was just like, I was like, listen, I'm tired. I said, go on, date this girl, whatever you want to do, because I don't care. He's just like, but I don't want to. I love you. I was just like, stop saying this to me. That feel like a weapon.
To keep you there, pity.
Because I don't care. And he was just like, well, what? And then eventually he finally said, well, what if I start talking to this girl and then I need something? You're with her. You're her problem now. And that was my exact response. You are her problem now. I said, I am adamantly supporting this relationship. Leave me alone. As he said in the passenger seat of my car as I was driving him to school.
Baby, he needed you. You was his mother.
And every time something happened, he called. Even after we had went a year or so without talking, he still called. I'm just calling to check up on you the whole time you going through something. So I was his safe place. Mm-hmm. And I ain't like it. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to be honest. I did not like it. That was abusive.
Well, sometimes we enter into relationships like that. I've never been in one of those, so thank the Lord.
That was my only. Mm-hmm. And that was my last.
Okay.
Minus the brief relationship I had in 2021. That was draining it was like emotionally abusive, mentally abusive. It's just, it was a lot.
Mm.
Financially. Ooh, ate them bank accounts. Ooh. But anyway, yeah. I desire though. I desire. I desire to be in love. I'm desired to be in lust. That ain't somebody want. Now, have I seen the man and been like, oh my God, he was fun? I have. But I told him to. Then after that, I was like, yeah, going on. But no, I
Well,
desire to be in love. Yeah, I ain't running behind nobody. Like, I just got to get them draws.
Lust, I just got to have it. I got to have it. That's lust. Seeing a beautiful or gorgeous or handsome or sexy man or woman, to me, is not lust. And to be able to say, man, you have a nice body.
But if you think about what they look like under them clothes,
that's lust. If you like, I got to have that. I want to get that.
Let me tap it.
And that's what we was talking about. You know, me and my coworker when I was telling you that because, and she made the statement. Of course, she was on me. You know, she made the statement that she said, "You ain't never looked at nobody." She was talking about how people's eyes meet. Your eyes meet and you go down. I said, "No, I've never done that." So maybe I have never.
I looked the man up and down, bro.
And your eyes went to his penis?
Oh no, I thought you said up and down.
Yeah, she was saying that how men and women look at each other. I said, no, don't go there. And like we was like if you like they say the woman walking, you tell the man like cause he turn around and look back and the woman.
That don't mean he like her. It might mean he like her shape. Cause I look at a woman booty like, dang, that girl got a big butt.
Yeah, I have told James we've been talking, man, look at all that booty on that lady.
Because that ain't what it is.
Look at me like I'm crazy. Look at it, you know, cause it's big.
We was at the state capitol Friday, and one of my fellow MWL women had on the dress, and I said, "Who was that with all that booty?" And she turned around and said, "Oh," and she had been sitting me the whole time. Never paid attention to all that booty she had. I said, "My God, woo."
My first cousins. And Chicago, baby, them the Buddhist sisters.
Let me tell you something. Buddhist, hips, thighs, they are all of it. I was like,
Who was that one of your friends said?
Lee.
Why you call her name?
Oop.
But anywho,
he gonna talk about
took it off.
He gonna say, we was at the convention center one night for something, I don't know. So he gonna say, who is all them women with all them hips and booties with that? I said, them my cousins. I said, them my granddaddy people. He gonna say, them your cousins? I was like, yeah. He said, like, how close? I said, like, first, second, third cousin. He was just like, then he looked back at me. Then he looked back over there. He gonna say, they took everything for you, didn't they? And before I knew it, I smacked it in his head. Mind you, he like 6'5". So, yeah.
But it happens. Yeah.
And I'm just like, how dare you? Because they got a nice little shape. But
they got rump shakers. The song rump, they got rump shakers.
I don't even want the whole thing. I just want half of one of their hips. That's it.
Yeah. So cousins, if y'all see, y'all know who we talking about. My cousin with the fine boobies. But back to the
thighs.
You were saying becoming saints. So in Ephesians, like it was saying, fornication. As becoming saints, you shouldn't be fornicating. And that's why we should be, as a people, keeping ourselves, if we're going to live right according to the Bible, wait on your spouse. And like James told our oldest son, wait, because therefore you have all your kids in one house, unlike he did. And it kind of hurts the man or woman who have kids other places and all your children out there at the same time, But so that's why lusting, don't act on the lust. I think it's lust when you act on it. You can have a thought, but when you react on the thought, boom, bam, there it is.
Lust is desiring something that
I know,
can't
but
have.
I'm talking about the reaction. When you act on it.
That's not lust.
But when you
that's sex.
Well, when you react on your lusting.
It's not reacting.
When you act on your lusting, it becomes sex.
Duh! That's what you were trying to say.
Whatever I was trying to say, because you kept correcting me, it fell off the top of my brain.
Okay, lust is desiring something that does not belong to you.
Oh, I know what I was saying. Acting on it is when it's out of order.
Okay. The lust is out of order too.
Yeah, but okay, Jazz. Yeah, that's a sin. But when you act on it, then you done just
It's
went.
still another sin.
You done fell all the way in there. At least if you ain't done act on it.
But you can still have sex and not lust behind something, not lust prior to.
Now that's true.
So
You just decide to have sex.
Yeah. Lust is desiring something that you don't have access to. You want it. I'm talking about like you'll do anything for it, and then
Love, it was love.
acting on the lust. It's the act. That's this thing. I mean, that's sex. That's just what that is. I don't know. And then love. That's what I wouldn't give no definition for love. Cause I'm not. I think I was gonna say I'm the worst person. I don't think that I could give or tell you what it feels to be in love, because I've never been in love, or what it feels. I can tell you what it feels to love somebody, because I love people. I do for people. That's how I show my affection. I am a giver. That's what it is. But the whole in love thing, I can't tell you what they feel like.
Well, I've been in love. I'm in love now. It's the greatest thing in the world.
I wouldn't know.
Well, I hope you learn to know. But
Me too.
being in love, you don't worry about anything. You have a spouse. You take care of each other.
Some people are in love and don't have a spouse.
Okay, well, I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about them some people. I start out talking about me.
It's how you said, you know how the Rock say some B's. You know, some B words. You know how the Rock said? That would sound like you just said it.
Oh, no.
That's all.
And okay, so the perfect example. I went through 2 hip surgeries. One in February and one in November. But saying,
Can I answer
why are
that?
you called what?
I knew we was not gonna make it. I was counting days how long we was gonna get into 2025 without her bringing up these hip
Whatever.
surgeries. She brought it up last week. She. It was like once she had every chance she gets, she bring up the
Let
goddamn
me finish
hip
my
surgery.
story.
But yeah, finish the
So
story.
we're talking about being in love. So and my husband is a truck driver. And so the first surgery I had, my husband and my daughter doped me out. My mom, my mom kept saying,
No.
yes, y'all gave me that medal. It was too often in the beginning, the first 2 days. That's why I ran out.
No.
Yes.
I had your stuff. He was giving
Let
you
me
one thing I
finish my
wasn't here.
story. But anywho, and so they had
Your
the
mama
lawn
gonna take
set.
care of you next
Jasmine set the lawn. I can't have another hip surgery.
I'm talking about your ankles. Like you swear. Cause you
Jazz
swear you
set
trying to
the
get that
alarm
done.
on my phone. So my husband would get up every time alarm go out and get the medicine.
But he grabbing the wrong medicine, because I snapped on him.
Let me
Just
finish
don't
the
pay
story,
attention.
please. So he was trying to call her. I'm like, James, no, let me do it. So finally, I sit down at the table about this, because the first day they spoke and gave it to me, continued. Then he ceased. And I'm like, man, y'all done gave me out. It was just so I got the papers and read them myself. But I was talking about being in love and loving. My husband, he was in love and my husband took care of me. He did not let me get up and go to that restroom. And then when he had to go to Texas,
He just
he
let her
made sure
pee on
my mama
herself.
was there.
I'm just
Girl,
playing.
stop.
I'm just
And
playing.
so when I walked through my house, starting off, I had to be on the walker. And so I like to open my blinds in the house. So he got me up and came, got me, come on. And so by the time I make it to the kitchen, went over the blind, he fussing, get your hand off that blind, I can do it. If you can do it, you should have did it before I came through. But I'm just saying, he takes very good care of me. And because I don't know what's going on, I can drop things out my hand. I'm like, James, please sit down. But whatever I drop, he's there picking up. What?
What do you mean you don't know what's going on?
Because but I've been doing, but he'll just pick it
You're
up.
clumsy.
Maybe dropping things that got nothing to do with clumsy. But that's, it's called
That's the literal definition of clumsy.
love, being in love. And I have, for with him. I do for him. Baby, you going to cut my hair before I go to church or cut my hair before I go to work? And even though when I broke my shoulder, however many years ago, so I thought, hey, I was done cutting hair.
Y'all see a pattern, right?
And what?
A pattern.
So then he keeps saying, well, I don't have to pay all that money. My wife's cut my hair. When she stopped And then what he gonna go by? I'm like, I already stopped, but you told me to come on back. But it's the love that make you do those things. What pattern do you see? Go ahead, girl.
Every year you break something.
No, that was about the hips and stuff that was some years ago. And I broke my shoulder trying to go pick my husband up. Remember?
So you trying to say my father?
No, I'm just saying being in love.
Girl, please. Anyway, don't listen to that delusion. The land of the Delulu. That's what we just entered into. Because no ma'am.
But being in love, you do things for people. Because you love them.
But you can also be in stupid. Been there, done that.
Well, you wasn't married to him.
Very much in stupid.
Mm-hmm. We can't do things in stupid, as she said.
You can be in stupid in a marriage.
You can. But you got to know if you're stupid or not.
Nah.
Don't play the fool role.
So, and that thing too, because we all understand the lust thing, so I want to focus a little bit more on the love thing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, as far as the whole being stupid versus being in love, you got to know your worth. Got to know your worth, and this whole idea, which is the one thing I want to address, this whole idea of unconditional love.
Mm.
I'm not sure who came up with this term, unconditional love, and told y'all that that's what you should be desiring, but they lied to you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not an opinion. Well, it may be an opinion for you because it's not your belief, but this is a belief for me. Fact number one. Premises number one. Unconditional means through any and everything, it stays the same. It does not matter what goes on. Unconditional means don't matter what happens. Be silent. Unconditional love means I'm going to love you through any and everything. And I think maybe y'all got it misconstrued with the vows. Through sickness and through health. It said through sickness and through health, I'm going to be there for you. Love you. Hold you down. It didn't say through abuse. It didn't say through cheating. It didn't say through physical abuse, mental abuse. None of that. And we got this idea, I want somebody to love me unconditionally. That's a lie. You can have somebody that will love you unconditionally. Jazz does not want that. I would never sit here and love you unconditionally. I don't want you loving me unconditionally. That love goes above God. God does not even love unconditionally. True. And that's what y'all mess up at. Because I can say, people say, I want unconditional love. I say, I want a man to love me like God loves the church.
Right.
That's the way I want to be loved. Like God loved the church. Mm-hmm. And I want to love a man like the church loved God. Because let me tell you something. If I tell you I want you to love me unconditionally,
run.
That means I can clear that bank account with my shopping habit. And you still going to be there through it thick and thin. No matter how many times I put us in the red, where our bills ain't paid, but I still got gift packages showing up to the house. That's the food. I can go sleep with 82 men and keep bringing back to you STDs and babies that don't belong to you, this, that, third. And you stay there and continue to forgive me. That's the food. I can get mad and put my hands on you every time. Abuse you in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And you stay there. That's the food. That's what you call unconditional love. Or vice versa. You can be putting your hands on me, whatever the case is very much unhealthy and all of the things. Instead of bringing babies back to me. Don't want to work. Don't do nothing. I'm just still. We said to death do us part. No. You misunderstood death do us part, sickness and health. Baby, you said the wrong vows. I don't think you understood the vows that you agreed to. I don't want unconditional love. Because that means you allow somebody to do any and everything to you. You're going to take that. That means you have low self-esteem. You can fight against it if you want to. Your self-esteem is trash. You don't know your worth. You have no common sense. To sit there and let somebody do something like that to you. And that's my man. I'm going to stand beside him.
Well, that's
Stupid.
my woman, man.
That's my woman. I'm going to ride with her. Stupid. Now, I'm not telling you that somebody, and you're married, especially if you're married, because marriage that's a stronger bond than you just be in a relationship with somebody. But I'm not telling you that if somebody cheat on you, that you should just get up and leave. Because that's not me. I can't tell you how to feel about the person you feel about. But for me in my house, we gonna serve the Lord. And as for Jazz, you cheat on me, you got to go. Because for me, if you cheated on me, you would not mind from the jump. And that's just how I feel about it. I'm not mad at Becky. I'm gonna handle you. And the way I'm gonna handle you, move you about this crib.
So she and I had
You
that
got to go.
conversation. And like I told her, everybody's different. I had a cousin. And well, let me touch on the stuff about the love unconditionally. The word says, love thy neighbor as thyself. And I also say, do unto others you will have them do unto you. So therefore, whatever you don't want done to you, don't do it. And if you love a person, you're not going to hurt them. You're not going to mistreat them. You're not going to beat them. You're not going to abuse them. You know, because you're just not going to do it. And we should not love anybody unconditionally, because I agree with that. Because that means you can do anything to me.
I'm going to sit here and ride it out.
It should have conditions with it. You know, love them as Christ loved the church. And in there, they said, you know, when a man hurt their own self, only a fool will hurt his own self, man or woman. So, hey.
Well, people be committing suicide.
Well, that's a fool. You know, so, hey. But anywho, so, and for us, that goes, that's not love, that is controlling.
That's abuse.
Or a sickness. You know, you're addicted to a person. But as I was saying, I had a cousin, and she's still living. But anyway, she got married young. And years later, they broke up. And because she said some paper came to the house and about a paternity test.
God knew you
I'm thinking. But anywho, so she left him. Well, come to find out the kid was not his. But, and this is the part I'm like, what? The night, you know, the bachelor night or whatever. So he had a bachelor party, and they brought some female there, and he banged her. Now this was all told to me. I'm just repeating what I was told. So all these years later, 7, 6 or whatever years, boom, bam, he'll pop up a kid. Well, the sad part is, she divorced him. Or left him. I don't know how long it took him to get divorced. Did not take him back. And the kid was none of his. But she felt like Jazz feels. You cheated, we out. I'm like, but it doesn't matter. You know, and that was before you married. And I said that. But people have a right to forgive and keep going or stay there or whatever.
That's your choice.
It's your choice, because like I told her, you know, hey, mommy's dad to cheat on you, I can't say that I wouldn't, you know, but that's how she feels. Everybody feels different. People
and it's easier to leave when you're not married, though. When you built a life with somebody, that's different.
Well, they were married, but they didn't have any kids. But baby, she was done. So how you feel is how you feel, you know. So that's why we have to be careful. Step it all out. So if you just wait till you're married, do it the right way. Live how God wants us to live by the Bible. If we do it that way, we don't have to worry about this craziness. I remember James. You said, I can't have you, nobody can. So I'm like, what? So his cousin said,
that's
you
crazy.
You need to leave, Junior. I'm like, girl, please. But
he meant that.
Because I'm still there, huh? But
no, he meant that regardless.
Well, we
He's
still
gonna
together.
take you out.
Girl, please. But I said that to say, you know.
If a man never tell you that, run.
Yeah. But my husband was not abusive. He was just crazy.
Was?
Mm-hmm.
Was.
You trying to say he's still crazy?
Still crazy.
Yeah, nah. But it depends. I don't know. Well, he just... life is what it is. But just be mindful and careful in what type of relationships you get in, and not letting, you know, like she said, that unconditional love, we got to love with understanding. I don't care what it is. You know, you got to have some understanding. The word say, with all I get, and get some understanding. So we got to be able to understand the concept of love, being loved, being in love, you know. For instance, so unconditionally, I'm going to say, James. I'm going to use my husband because I have one. He's sitting out here, baby.
Pause. What do you mean because you have one?
Because I can't speak about a man that I don't have.
Okay.
So I'm speaking on a man that I do have.
Okay. Continue.
Like you said, I'm going to use us for example. He like, well, I'm finna go rob this bank. You going with me drive the car? Sure ain't. But I thought I don't love you like that because you're going to jail by yourself because I'm not doing that. That's
so
why.
Somebody got to take care of James.
Well, baby. No.
Not you gonna choose jail.
Do not get out. But this is what I used to teach her. But now I used to tell Johnny when Johnny started off driving truck. I was 25 years ago. And my husband used to be driving. He was driving long haul. I'm like, Johnny, get you some rest. And so I would tell him, well, you drive that truck if you wrong and kill yourself. I said, me and my kids and my new husband going to spend up your insurance money.
Now I remember it.
So my mama said, stop telling James that. I said, Mom, I need to make him think, And but anywho, I said that to say, so James said in church years ago, he said just like his wife was sitting there over there in the other seat, he got sleeping. James pull over. So somewhere you got to have some sense, with the love thing. I loved him, but I loved him enough of wanting him to come back to us. So if you was driving tired, I'm saying, kill yourself if you want. We gonna enjoy that money, me and whoever.
And me. Well, as Rita said, she has a husband.
I do, and I'm glad.
So she can comment on the whole love thing.
I can. I'm in love. I feel love. I know he loved me and he loved me, and I'm thankful. And I pray that, like my child, everybody, like she said, she's never been in love. But it was a man told me that, a grown old man actually, he's never been in love. But I'm like, what? He was married, had kids, really? And to me, that's
I hope
sad.
she never knew he said that.
I don't know.
Because he'd be divorced.
Well, she did. But anyway.
I would have been.
But the point is,
she did.
But the point is, people, because you in love with a person. Remember, I told you earlier, they told my friend to marry the man. She wasn't in love with him. I hope she in love with him now. I don't know, but they still together. We don't talk like that anymore. But love will keep you together, in my opinion.
That's the actual song. Love, there I go. We'll keep you together.
Keep us together.
Oh, whatever.
Good, bad, yeah.
Happy or sad. Something like that. Anyway, on that note, you can love someone and not be in love with them. You can think someone is attractive and not be attracted to them. Yes, you can. Because, okay, case in point, Angela Bassett. Drop dead gorgeous woman. Very attractive. Not attractive to in the slightest.
She's a woman.
Exactly. But that was just the point I was giving. Okay, let's go with the man. Chris Brown. Very attractive man. I was crazy about Chris Brown growing up. Chris Brown?
Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Very attractive. Not attracted to him. I don't want to be with him. He's an attractive guy, but not my cup of tea. That's just what that is. What's the dude's name? Mufasa? Very attractive.
Okay, let's stop naming people I don't know because I don't care nothing about them. I don't know. Famous people does not interest.
Y'all heard the first lady say she don't care nothing about them?
I don't know them. So because they're famous does not interest me.
I was using a name that everybody know. It do me no good to say a name that only you know.
Okay, well, I don't know.
Who is the first person you know? From your
Michael
generation. Dead. Okay, Michael Jackson. He's not attractive.
He was at one time.
Then he turned into Casper. I'm sorry, OJ. I love you. But it also, now, so that wouldn't help the point I was making.
Your statement was
you can think someone is attractive and not be attracted to them.
True.
Just like you can love somebody and not be in love with them.
True.
You can like a person and still not want to be with them.
True.
Which the point I was getting to.
Got it.
You can like the cat and don't want to be with them. I was cycling back to what you said in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is. You can like what y'all got going on in the bedroom, and still that's all you like.
It's not gonna last.
Just like somebody being married for love, but don't know let's go up because that's when the last episode we talked about what if the sex ain't good.
Oh.
Because just think about it. If I marry you because the sex good, but I don't love you, ain't gonna. Well, we can say it ain't gonna last. We don't know if we never been in a situation because you got some people like you said married right now don't love each other. So some working they got kids.
Look like I got a story for everything.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
And then, and then you could be with somebody in love with them and the sex is just garbage. People go to therapy for this. It's called sex therapy. I kid you not, it's a real thing. Read a book.
I don't want to read that.
No, the book is not about sex.
I say I got a story for everything because I've talked to a lot of people in my life. So I had a friend, and she had a friend, and at this time, so this has been 30 years ago because I was pregnant with Jazz, and she was telling me about her
I'm
friend.
22.
You how?
22.
Okay, you know, and she was telling me about her friend who was married to a man. Lord have mercy. And say the sex was. Well, she said he had a small penis. And that's what and she couldn't feel it. So the person that she
There's no way you just said
I
this.
said I but anywho,
I
was saying this because she was saying she loved him. So listen to me good. She loved him.
Got a point.
But for her to get pleased sexual that I did not agree with then, because actually, yeah. And I didn't agree when she told me. So she would go out and sleep with this other man. I guess
It's
somebody else that
worse.
was bam, that had the thing that satisfied her. And the sad part about it, they had 3 kids. And her friend believed that they all were the other man because he could not satisfy her. And you know, and I'm like, that's not right.
Him not satisfy her. I mean, he can't get a nut off and get her pregnant.
Well, now I can't say they had the tests, but the point of the matter was, and I said to her then, well, she don't need to be with him because why are you cheating on him with somebody else?
They were married.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
I got another example. I had a friend, and I guess she thought she loved the man. He wanted to marry her, and she told me no. She could not marry him. She said because she was going to cheat on him because he could not satisfy her in the bed. It was just too small. So I said to her, well, can't you do another style? Dogger style or whatever. She like, no.
Whoa!
So, and to say all that,
whoa.
she did not marry him. Now, I look up to her for that because she said she loved him too much to cheat on him.
I'm trying to get past it. Listen, like I said, which brings us back to the point that was brought up on last episode. Well, if you marry him, it ain't good. What the first point number 1, for men to sit up there and say, or for whatever man that said, men have to like who like them, or say women just want y'all for certain things. These women be loving y'all for real, because, excuse my French, your dick game trash.
Mm-mm.
Your penis game trash. Or it's little. And she's still there. That you're not gonna tell me she don't love you. She does. You're not gonna tell me that girl does not love you.
But
and you know, wait a minute, you know that thing love. You ain't working what you think you working with, and she's still sticking it out. Women ride for y'all for a lot of stuff. Now I'm not saying men. You got some men who don't ride for women, but women would take more stuff than men do. I would tell that because y'all cannot dish out what you take, and this is not me jumping because it's just honest. If a man cheats on a woman, she would take him back 3 to 5, as opposed to if a woman cheats on a man, oh, you done. Cause I just can't stop thinking about you with him. I can't unsee what you think she think about. But she'll let it ride. And I'm just saying. So again, you can marry somebody and the sex be trash.
Would you stay with him and not cheat on him? No, but the conversation we had earlier was you marrying the person and you never had sex, then you find out.
So
That
were they
lady,
having sex before they got married?
that lady and that man was, and
Well,
she
she
still
still was
married
wrong.
him. But she was wrong because she went outside her bedroom.
She was wrong when she married him,
No,
and she knew that
right.
she was not pleased sexually. But because you love him, you can love more than one person.
Mm-hmm. So she was wrong. But the other young lady who chose not to marry him, to me that was great because she said she didn't want to do that to him. She loved him too much to do him like that.
Me personally, I can't say it.
You can't say what?
Because I was going to say, if it ain't good, you got to go. But I don't believe in divorce. So I might just be stuck.
So let's put it like this here. A follower of Christ wouldn't go there.
Wouldn't go where?
If it ain't good, you got to go. Because first of all, if you wait on the Lord before you do that, and you believe that God has chosen you for this man, that wouldn't be your thought. So that's where we get it twisted at, because we first got to be walking in the will of God for ourselves. Not for, because, hey, I want this, I want that. We got to be following him. And I believe if you start off like that, it's going to be right. Now, that's my belief. Everybody's different.
Two things.
Go ahead.
God crazy about me. He don't play about me. Now, I may be sitting right here without a husband. Have been single for a very long time, and I don't know if it's happening. But then also, God don't play with me. So I highly doubt that this man know I'm up here keeping my leg closed and waiting on this husband, this, and the third. And I'm having some trash stuff.
Let's go back to
hold on, I'm not
words.
done. I highly doubt that would ever happen. I know I ain't got no problem in the air. Number two, that was the second point to that. You have to know your body, what you like, what you don't like, and they got to know that. You got to be telling them, hey, listen. Nah, if you don't like it, you got to tell them you don't like it. Let's try this. You got to be willing to work on it. That's like with anything in a relationship. I also got to work on everything. I believe that everything can be fixed in a relationship, and if it cannot be, everything can be worked on in a relationship. You choose whether or not you want to be fixed.
If you are both serving God.
That's not what I'm talking about. Because you got people right now don't care nothing about God. They've had happy, long marriages. Because that's not what they want to be. But that's what I was referring to.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm saying you have to be willing to work on it. Everything can be worked on, but not everything can be fixed. Because if everything can be fixed, you wouldn't be getting divorced. You got to want to change. You got to want to fix. That's the point I'm getting at.
Let's go back to keeping it real biblical. If we are desiring Christ and doing it Christ's way, it will work out. He said all things work out for the good to who? To him that love God, to him that called according to his person. Him those. Okay then. So therefore, you loving God over all, it will work out.
Me playing devil's advocate. For the person who comes to this channel, who has no absolute relationship in God whatsoever, cares nothing about God, and they say, well, I have good sex and I'm an atheist.
And what the word say, God reigns on the just as
that
well
was my
as the
point.
unjust.
That was
but
my point.
we was talking about the biblical side, Jazz. I don't believe a person who is desiring Christ, walking the way he wants he or she to walk, will get a person, and it's not going to work. Because first of all, the love going to be deeper than this piece of meat here. It's going to be the inwardly love first. And that's what falling in love is.
We just talked about two separate couples that you know.
I know, and what I said, but both of them was having sex before marriage. And to me, the one who did the greater good, who chose not to marry that man that she said she loved because she said he couldn't please her. The other person, now I didn't know her. This was somebody else's story that told me. She married him knowing he was not pleasing, and then she wasn't true to him. That was wrong.
She was throwing that thing outside the marriage.
Not out, just to one other person.
It still was outside the marriage.
And then according to her, this is what her friend thought. So she had 3 kids. So she was thinking, when he wasn't meeting the itch, she went and got there. She believed that was the man kids. The lady didn't say it, you know.
What did it look like? Because now we
I don't know the folks. I'm
okay,
just
exactly. That's why we ain't got to repeat it. Because she out there. That's her business. So, on that note, what have we learned? Leave it in the comments. If you want to be notified every time we post, please follow us on all of the streaming podcasts. You can see our lovely faces on our YouTube channel. That episode goes live at 5 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time every Wednesday. And we are live streamed available every 9 a.m. morning, every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. on any and all podcast streaming services. It has been fun. It has been interesting and a little weird.
Because we're tired and sleepy, y'all.
No, because she brought up doggy style in her age.
Baby, please.
On the couch with her daughter. But
How
don't
you
want
got
me
here?
saying,
Because you can't say that word.
and I will see y'all in the she ain't gonna be at the next episode.
Whatever. It's Mama Daughter podcast, baby.
I quit.
If you can't stay in the kitchen, get out.
That's not even the saying.
I make my sayings as I go.
It has been another episode of Man's Glory where we keep it real.
Real biblical.
See y'all in the next episode.